This is a test to see what exactly the mics pick up. How are they going to make it? It was the late 1970s, and there was a husband, a wife, and a newborn child. A small family. The husband was finishing up his internship year. And even by 1970 standards, he wasn't making a whole lot. Barely making $500 a month. $110 of that $500 went to car payments. Another decent chunk went back to pay his student loans. Family needed to be fed. Baby needed to survive. At one point, they were down to $7 in their checking account. And then the husband did something that shocked his bride. He took the checkbook and he wrote out a check for $5 to the church as an offering. Leaving $2 in his account. They tried to make the milk and the soup and the food stretch out, but it just didn't happen. Pretty soon, the cupboards were bare, the fridge was empty, the freezer was empty. Now shut off the mic to see what that mic is picking up. About halfway down, about a third of the way down the church. They just couldn't make it stretch. Pretty soon everything was gone, everything was empty. The young mother was nursing her child and said to her husband, "What's for dinner tonight?" Knowing that there was nothing in the house. To which the husband replied, "Honey, I do not know. The Lord will provide." Would he really? Would the Lord really provide? Did he know what they needed? Suppose you could think that that man was foolish, putting his hope in an unseen provider and encouraging his bride to do the same. That would be the logical way to look at things. After all, his bride asked the logical question, "What are we going to eat?" The young man had to answer honestly, "I do not know, but the Lord will provide." Did Jesus actually know what they needed? As Jesus' disciples stared out at a large crowd of people, they saw things logically too. Jesus had just told his disciples to go get the crowd something to eat. But you can understand the uncertainty. It was getting late. It was a large crowd. They were kind of in a remote area with not a whole lot around. One mother had the sensibility to send her son with a meal, 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Remember, the loaves in that time were smaller than the loaves that we go into the grocery store and buy today. A decent, hearty meal for a growing boy, but mere crumbs for the crowd. Did Jesus really know what this crowd needed? Would he really provide? Let's take a moment as we see Jesus give us a wonderful example to continue our extraordinary life and trust God to provide. How did Jesus and his disciples find themselves out in that deserted location with so many people? Well, at this point, Jesus was at the highest point